John Osborne here. Let's do the FX Education Outlook for September 18th, 2017. We'll start out with the pound loonie. You can see that we've broken above this previous pivot here on the daily, and we're making some nice moves higher with higher highs and higher lows. We're getting a little bit of a bearish divergence here, although it has to wait until we see some more of a green histogram here to confirm that we have a pivot and wait for this to complete. But it looks like a little bit of weakness going forward, but that's not surprising as we've broken above this previous little pivot area right here. Our next target would be at this swing high on the daily, and that would get us up to 1.67229. And that is moving higher after bouncing off this weekly support that we see right here. And we'll see if we can move up towards the 50 bar moving average on the weekly. Speaking of 50 bar moving averages, if you look at the pound Aussie, you can see we went right up to that point on the weekly for last week, and now we're doing a little bit of a consolidation sideways here after that move. You can see we also broke this daily trend line here, and we are moving up towards this 1.71223 resistance formed by here. We were looking at this to break the monthly support trend line down here, but so far we've gotten a really good bounce back up again. For the euro yen, you can see that one's running higher based on a break above this previous swing here. I'm going to update this line from this pivot to this previous pivot. And you can see how we've broken above that one, came back, retested a little bit, and then moved higher. So we're seeing some really good bullishness now on our 240 daily, and the weekly is starting to get more bullish. Be careful until, well, I guess we are getting some pretty good moves here, and it is looking like it's going to run up. We have been watching for this one to run quite a bit higher on this break, and so far we're making a nice run. For the Aussie yen, it's also making the move up. We're coming up and retesting that 89.416 resistance. We'll see if we can break through that. On more of a bearish portfolio, we're looking at the euro pound. This one actually made a pretty strong move over the last week, back down lower. It broke down below this previous pivot here and stopped right on this old trend line that we have here. And you can see we also broke this very old line here on the weekly. So we're watching this now going lower and lower with lower highs and lower lows, and even our weeklies turning lower. So just watch this little bit of bullishness here that we're seeing on the 4-hour chart. We're really strong if we can get down through this previous pivots here. So let's watch for a break of the previous bars here to see if we can head lower. You can also put in a support at this point, and let's just check this previous support here as a potential target lower that we'd have to break through those to go lower. And finally, we've got the Aussie loonie. This one was making a nice move lower, and it actually broke through intra-week to head down towards this previous pivot, but ended up closing each of those weeks above the previous pivot right here. And now you can see on our daily we come back up to retest this broken support line. So let's watch what happens here. The most interesting part is this 4-hour line that we have here, and it's nicely behaving according to that line. So we could be watching for a break lower and a resumption of that downtrend if we can get down below this line. Currently it's about 0.97225 or so. And that'll do it for today. Remember, you can subscribe by clicking on the image in the upper right. You can look at previous videos by clicking on the video image in the upper left. Until next time, have a great rest of your day.